whole idea of this miracle is a momentary continuation of the idea of the possibility you're recognizing yourself. See, I couldn't resist it. I love the idea that there's a practice within your own mind that will give you an idea of what I'm offering you in a course of activity that you take about yourself, all right, with the one who is associated with you there. It's good to see you again. Do you have this copy of A Course in Miracles? Are we using it as a parameter of how we're viewing ourselves? Does it require that I have thoughts about myself? Shall I again, in this quantum loop? Shall I just for a moment again attempt to teach ideas about a course, an idea of mind training that would show me the difference in what I want to believe about myself? Look, and that new ideas about what I want to see can increase fabric of light association in a continuing recognition. Say to me, a different place.
A different place.
Okay. The first thing I did in this idea about our association of time, I hope, was take away from you the idea that time itself will not finally resolve the conflict of the place that you're in. That's all I really did. No, I don't intend to continue with this within the activity of our own minds. What I want to do with you is offer you my certainty that in the meticulation, in the idea of structure, in the idea of study, and the idea of teaching, there's a necessary part in you that must express and determine another alternative to this that's always available to you. Now, the recognition that the procedures of the offering I'm giving you are coming from a single universal mind may not for that moment be obvious to you, look with me, and that's why you need the mind training, isn't it? In other words, if I'm determined to offer you a parallel universe of my identity with myself, I'm going to have to admit somewhere, beginning very early in the teaching, that the world that I'm seeing out there is not who I really am. The surprise about this, shall I tell you, from the new quantum idea of self-expression that we're maintaining as ourself, we've begun to meet each other in another place and time. I'd love to show you how rapidly you can bring about a conversion within your own mind in the exercising of question and answers that you're getting about yourself within the frame of this Course in Miracles. Well, that looks like a pretty thick book. I wonder how I'm ever going to be able. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. That's just a constant reminder to you that the manner of your self-discovery is not really concerned except that you must assume responsibility for two things. Shall I teach for a moment? First of all, you're going to get the result of your own mind. It's not going to do me any good to appear here within a fabric that you identify as a specialization of teaching of quantum in regard to the universal source of reality that's out there. Do you see that? Because if I'm going to train your mind systematically that this is not real, come on, if I'm going to attempt to show you that the whole universe is out there, it's virtually impossible without mind training for you to recognizing, shall we share what? Everything that you're seeing within your own identity of yourself is justifying the arrangement that you hold about yourself in the correspondence that you find within your own identity of yourself. Now, the enjoyment, let's use what we call the mind training of A Course in Miracles. Shall I go to ideas of cycle? In the first 50 days. within the first 50 days, okay, will be everything that you need to know to lead you to a factor of increase in importance of what? First, I'm responsible for this. Now, that may not be totally recognizable to me at this time, but the idea that it can be recognized now, crucial, in the place that I'm in, are the crucial elements of the first 50 lessons. What it says is, I'm responsible for what I see, but I seem to be in a place where I can't recognize myself. Listen, you're not. You see that? Everything that you're seeing out in this world of universal mind is teaching you directly about your own consciousness identity as a Homo sapien, as an idea of body form in which all of your recognition of yourself and the idea of who you are only evidence of how you feel. But you've admitted this much. I am responsible for what I see. I'm choosing ideas that I want, and everything that's happening to me in that first 50 lessons, I've determined as the outcome that I want. Okay? There's a fabric I set up in an association where I can teach you in a time cycle the relevance of the division of the ideas of sequential time into periods of time that can represent the entirety of your association. I'm going to teach from my own whole mind. Everything that I'm expressing to you is from my certainty of the illuminate mind in which I am sharing with you my escape from the bondage of space-time. That's all. It's impossible that I am telling you within the fabric of what you call a teacher of self-recognition that you have not and will not recognizing and will become a whole part of what you really are within your own mind. I've set it up in this factor. I decided to do it. And if you don't have your copy yet of what A Course in Miracles is, get one. Because I'm going to demonstrate it now to you in the idea of those sequences of time. And I want you to see that I can practice on a day-by-day basis. When I came into this fabric this morning, I say, what is going on here? This association of time is expressing a consciousness idea of self-concept in which he is telling me I can change my mind about what I thought I was and that I will be entirely different because I am entirely different each moment. Each moment I have decided not to hold on to myself in these first 50 lessons, or particularly these first 10 lessons. I have discovered a brand new me, so that I may now come out into the world. I may sit with you in the idea of the lessons that we're going to perform together. And at any moment, in the verbalization of what I'm offering you, in the recognition of the teaching devices, we discover first, you're only teaching yourself. Second, you're only hearing what you want to hear. Third, what you want to hear is changing all the time. It's changing all the time. Good. The progress that you're making, important, doesn't have anything to do with your concepts at all. It may momentarily have to do with your emotional evaluation of yourself because you're involved in a need to find out who you are. Feel all the joy and love that's going to result in pain and loneliness and death in your self-identity. That's the only reason you'll need me.